Now we will work on the login. But before that, first work on the sign up, because sign up is required, right? So work on the sign up first. So here we will be just fetching what user has provided, like user email, password, and password, which is necessary as of now, because we will be first checking user email is if user is already exist. So there are few conditions we will be checking, like if user is already exist, like here we will be like finding user by email. So user service dot find user by email, and here we will be providing email and next parameter next. So we will be checking if user is already exist by this email. If user is already exist, then we will not allow user to sign up with that email. We will show him that error. Okay, if user means user is already exist, then res.redirect, we will be redirecting him to the same page, user/sign up, and we will be showing some kind of message. So to show any message, we will be using res.locals.message here user already exists. But this and this will not work until we will be adding one more package, which is connect flash. I will show you later, but for now just I will be adding like that, but in the future we will be adding connect flash, and I will also send that message in the same message here as well. We will be displaying that message. Okay, this one is fine. Format. If user already exists with the following email, then redirect show him the error like user already exists with this email. Okay, if user does not exist with the following email, then we are good to create that user. So but before creating that user, we will have to hash the password, plain text password, because this will be a plain text password, right? So we have to hash that plain text password and store the hashed password in the database. So to hash any password, we will be using Bcrypt. Bcrypt we are using here to hash anything. JSON web token was to generate a token. Bcrypt. Okay, this is also done. Now const hashed password equal to await bcrypt dot hash. So bcrypt dot hash will take first parameter as a plain text password, and next parameter is a salt round. So you can provide any integer value here. So I'm providing 10 as a salt. So this value is telling you like how strong your password will be. Like means this will perform some kind of algorithm in the background, and more higher number you add, more difficult. It will be more difficult to compare your password or hack your password. Now you can simply write replace request dot password request.body.password body.password with the hashed password. So now our request.body will have hash password. Now here you can simply return const new user await user service dot create user. Here we will be passing request.body and we will be passing parameter next. So by doing that, it will create one user. Okay, it will create one user, and if new user, then we will simply return it to login page. Account created successfully. Please log in to continue. Okay, so this is also done, and we will add the same message in the res.locals as well. Okay, or we can write return here. Okay. Otherwise, res.redirect to the same page. If we get any error or any kind of server error or application error, then we will be redirecting him to the same page. User.signup. Cool. So this is done, right? This is done. So here what we did, we first paste email and password from request.body. Request.body will have name and badge, email, password, but currently we only require email and password to check if user exists with that email, and password required to generate the hash password. And we replaced here plain password with the hash password, and we created new user here. And if new user is created, then we will be redirecting him to the login page. And otherwise, if new user is not created, in case of some errors, then we will be redirecting to the same page. So this is the whole sign up flow. Let's just check if sign up is working or not. Yes, so we will first start our application. Run npm start. Our application is started. Now load this page. Okay, go back. Click on sign up. Sign up form is open. Click on fill the details. Ajay Kumar. First name, batch, CS, email, KJ, password, some password. I am typing test as a password. Click on this. Okay, this one, I think we are getting some error. So let's just resolve that error. Res.redirect URL and a status. Okay, redirect don't take any parameter. Okay, got it. But here we are sending some parameter, right? So this will not work. So we have to remove this, because redirect don't take any parameter. So we have to use locals. We will see how to use locals. But for now, just refresh this page, click on continue. So if you go to find user by email here, and it redirect us to find one, and in the find one, if you check here, I was using find, so we don't have to use find. So in Mongoose there is one function called find one, and if we use find one, then it will only fetch one record, and in case of one record, it will redirect. if it is not getting any record, then it will redirect null or null. So that was the problem, and I was using find, and if you go in the user controller, here it was redirecting us, sending us the array object, and array object was correct. This condition was getting true, and it was redirecting us to sign up page. So that was the problem. So I will remove logs here from here. Okay, this one is fine, this one is also fine. Okay, cool. Now if you go to your sign up page again, since I have deleted everything, I will again sign up batch. I will add cs KSI5080. I will add my mail, and password I'm adding as small test. Okay, now we have successfully redirected to login form. And if we fill this details, this will not work as expected. This is expected. Let me just show you in the database what we got. In the database, if you see, we got this thing. We got a role as a student. This was the default role we have added. Name Ajay Kumar, which we added in the sign up form. Batch CS, email, and password. This was the required. We have not got token yet because we have not provided token. We will be adding that token at the time of login. So this is working fine. Now let's just work on the login form. Okay. So first, copy everything, because this will be required. This code we will be modifying. Here as well, we will get email and password from the login form. From the request body, we will first check if user exists with that email. If user exists with that email, then only we will work. Otherwise, if user does not exist, then we will just simply write user does not exist with this email. Okay, cool. And we will simply redirect him to the login page. Got it? If user, first we will fetch email from the request body. We will check if user exists by that email. If user does not exist by that email, then we will simply redirect him to the login page again. So this is clear, right? Now, next thing is we will compare the password which user has entered. To compare any password, in the Bcrypt, we have one method called Bcrypt.compare, and compare takes a first parameter as a plain password. So plain text password, this will be the plain password. And since we have already got user by email, so we can simply write user.password. So this one is user password, which we have saved in the database here. This is the hash password. Okay, and we will compare. If this match, then we will proceed further. If does not match, then we will redirect him again to the login page and saying that password did not match. So just add one condition. Not if password does not match, then redirect to the login page again, saying incorrect password. Okay, if password does not match, then we will be saying incorrect password and redirect him to the login page again. So this is also fine, right? Now if password is also matching, then what we will do, we will create a token. So here we will import that token service, const token, okay, token helper. Okay, we have not added that token helper here, so just add token helper, const token helper require ./token helper. we will just add token helper here. Okay, this is fine. Now we will go to user controller, and here we will just import token helper from require dot slash helper. So here now again we will go to here, and we will just delete this line. I think this will is also not required. Okay, now here we will create a token. So to create a token, we will use token helper dot we will sign, and what we will provide user ID, and here we will add user dot ID, or you can add anything. That is that is up to you what you want to add in the sign. And at the time of decode, you will get this this thing, this JSON object. And the second parameter, okay, this one is saying like some kind of error, so you can simply grab it from here, write const user ID, user.id, and here you can simply say user ID, correct? Okay, the next parameter was body, and next parameter was next. The expiry time we have already set as 1 hour in the sign method, you have seen, right? So token we have generated. Now just update. So what we will do, we will just update user token. So we will just update user token in the request.body. Okay, so here what we will do, we will just update user.token equal to token, and we will call one method, wait, user service dot update user. So here we will simply pass user, but before that let me just delete user ID. I don't want to pass a user ID every time, so I will simply delete the user ID from the user. Okay, this is also done. User we have passed. The second parameter is ID, user ID, and next parameter is next. This one is also done. And after doing that, we will simply set whatever token we have generated to the cookie of the user in the browser cookie. So to use any cookie, we have already imported cookie parser, right? Cookie parser here, and we have also used that middleware. So in that middleware, we have one method called res.cookie. So with that, with the help of that method, you can set any cookie. So if you go to here, login, here we will just before updating it, after updating it, we will simply set res.cookie. We will name it as token, user token, and here we will add token. The parameter, option parameter is the first HTTP only, make it as true, and then max is this max is will take argument as in the millisecond, so you can simply write 1000. This will be 1 second. Now this will be 60 second, means 1 minute. This will be 60 minutes means 1 hour. So this is fine. So since our token will be valid only for 1 hour, so we can write like this. Or you can just add 1 also, so that you don't get confused. This is 1 hour. So by doing that, it will set a cookie in the user browser, and every time user try to access any page, we will simply check if this token is present. If this token is present, then we will fetch user ID from that token, and we will fetch user ID and check if that user is a valid user. If token is expired, then it will also expire from the user browser, and user will not able to perform any operation without logging. Got it? And after doing that, we will simply redirect user to the profile page. So this looks nice. Okay. Now format this code. Okay. This looks nice. Now go to your user login form, refresh it, try to enter the credentials. So this is this again we got some error. So here it is saying ID update db helper dot update ID. ID is not defined. Sorry. So in the update method we have one. So we instead of colon we just added comma. So let me just try again. Okay, again. Got it. Nice. So this is working, right? We simply redirected to the user profile, because once this all operation is correct, then we will simply redirect into user profile. That is happening. Now if you inspect and check the user browser cookie document dot cookie, you will see why we are not seeing any cookie. Document dot cookie. If you go to application, HTTP and localhost, here you can see. Look, we have one cookie called token. It is valid. Token value is the token which we have generated. Look, this is valid, right? Domain, HTTP, path, expire in max is 1 hour, and HTTP only is true. Everything is working fine. So this is working fine. Now, on the user profile page, we are not checking if user user is a valid user or user is already logged in or not. So how to check if that user is a valid user or the token which we are getting in the cookies is valid? So to check that, we will first fetch user ID from the cookies. So how to fetch that? So we remember we have added one decode method in the token helper. So await token helper dot decode, and decode method will take only one parameter, which is token, and token will be stored in the, since this is a async method, token will be stored in request dot cookies of token, and the next parameter is next. Okay, so if everything is correct, then we will get user ID, since we were passing user ID in the token. Remember here, where is that? Here. Now if we get user ID, if we get user ID, then we will simply set request dot user ID equal to user ID. If we don't get user ID, then we will Let me just write if we don't get user ID, so that we don't have to write this thing. We will simply return dot this dot redirect user slash login this dot locals dot message please log in to continue. Okay, this we got. If we don't get user ID, then we will simply redirect him to the login page. Otherwise, we will simply add that user ID, whatever we got, to the request, so that we can access this user ID anywhere in the application, and we will simply render the profile page. So let me just check if this is working. We got error. What is that error? Next. Okay, so next we have not provided here. So next we can provide. Okay, this is working. Now let me just check. This is working, right? This one is working. I will just show you what is the user ID. Console.log user ID. User ID. Just check. Go to the console and check. Look, user ID we are getting, and this user we have logged in. If you go to database, the user ID, refresh it. User ID is EC1F, 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 and we are getting that. But the here is one problem. The problem is, if we write like this, we have to write this code everywhere. To solve this problem, we have to create one middleware, authentication middleware, which will execute before any route. Okay, so we will just copy this thing, cut this thing, and I will just create one middleware. Just minimize for every file which is not required, and we will create one folder called middleware. We will create one folder called middleware. Middleware. Okay. Make it plural name. Middlewares. Now here we will add auth.middleware.js. And here we will simply write module.exports. And here we will write auth request response next, and we will copy paste that code. Here we will again import token helper, since token helper is required. Const token helper from require token helper slash token helper. And this will be a async method, since we are using await. So let me just check if everything is correct. We have created one auth middleware. We are passing request response next. This is an async method. We are passing await token helper. We have already imported .decode request.cookies token next. User ID. If you not user ID, then we are setting one message to locals, and we are redirecting him to login page if user not found. In case of user found, we are simply setting the user ID and into the request, and we will call next. So it will now move to the next operation or route, whatever is there. So now call this middleware in the route. So just open your route. Services routes. Here you have to add that middleware. So before that, I think we can create one index.js also. So here you can simply create one index.js in the middleware. This is the practice we are following, right? Auth middleware no auth middleware equal to require dot slash auth middleware, and here module dot exports auth middleware. Okay, fine. Now if you go to your index user route, here you can simply write auth middleware, and we can require middlewares. Okay, cool. Now we have auth middleware, and in the profile we will pass this auth middleware dot auth. So this middleware will execute before getting to the profile. Let me just show you. So we have controller, we have removed code from the controller, and we have created one auth middleware, and in auth middleware we are checking if user exists with that token. If user does not exist, we will redirect to the login page. Otherwise we are setting user ID to the request user ID request, and after that we are typing next, which will move that to the next thing, which is user.getProfile. Okay, cool. Now let's just check if everything is working fine. This is not working. Why this is not working? Decode, undefined of decode. Okay, token helper, I think. Token helper is not defined. Okay, let me just check why token helper is not working. Token helper. So dot slash helper dot slash dot slash helper slash helper. Okay, here. Okay, got it. Format, and we have added token helper in the helper itself, right? So if you refresh it, if everything is correct, we will get some number. So we are getting it, and if you check, we are also getting user ID, which is written in the middleware. Yeah, that was the main aim, and we are done with the authentication. User authentication. So you can simply write this middleware in the Bcrypt as well. Like we will, if you want to force user to log in before accessing any books, then you can simply write that. So if you go to Bcrypt, here we can import that middleware. I think again we have to go to one folder back. Okay, that is fine. Now here, before add book, you can simply write auth middleware here dot auth middleware dot auth. Okay, let me just check auth middleware. Okay, auth middleware dot auth before add book auth middleware dot auth. If you want to provide multiple middleware, then you can provide it in the form of array. So we will see if we get that chance to apply a different method. We will in the future, if we will be creating one authorization, we will be handling authorization. In that case, we will be creating another middleware which will check if current user has sufficient permission to do a specific operation. So at that time, we will be adding this another middleware, and we will add in the form of array. So this is done. So let me just go through whatever we have done till now. So I will start from the app.js. Let me just close everything. I will recap everything. So what we did, So first we changed we removed app dot means control router from app.js. So we have added router in the index route here itself. In the index route, we have added book route and user route. So we have worked on user route in the coming last videos. So if you go to user route, here we have added few routes, which is login, sign up, profile, and for that we have created controller and we have created a middleware. So if you go to controller, so here we have added few methods to render form and to handle the login logic. So we have written logic in the controller itself, as I've told. For sign up as well, we have written logic in the controller itself. So this is fine. This is working as expected. And for that, we have also created user service. User service, we have few methods like find user by ID, find user by email, create user, update user. And we have updated find one method in the DB helper because earlier this was find and we have updated it to find one. So this is working, right? This one is done. We have created one middleware. So if you go to middleware, here we have created middleware. This middleware will execute if, to check if user is logged in or not. If user is not logged in, then it will redirect user to the login page. Otherwise, it will set user ID to the request. We have used few packages like JSON Web Token and Bcrypt. JSON Web Token is to sign any object, and Bcrypt is used to hash password. So that's it. And one more thing. Yesterday I checked my code and I found there is one issue in the code, which is in the add book. So here if you see request add user, add book, if you go to add book, here we are passing body and here we are passing request or body. So we have to pass here body. So this was the mistake and sorry for that. Actually, I just copied this code from the controller and pasted it here. That's why we got this error. And I think this is fine. This is fine. So we are done now. We are done with the authentication. And in the coming videos, we will see. In the coming videos, we will be handling like if a user is able to add books to their cart, and user can check out with the specific book, and one book will have a specific time limit, like user can hold it only for 7 days. After 7 days it will be chargeable per day basis, on the per day basis, like per day 3 rupees or 7 rupees or whatever, 10 rupees. So based on that, it will be chargeable. So we will be handling that logic, and user will be able to see what books is inside their profile, means what book he has purchased, what book he has to return. So how many days is it remaining? So we will be handling that kind of logic in the coming videos. So thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Thank you so much.